Welcome back to another ATAT Chat Rage Piece. Now, actually, let's just talk about The Last Jedi.
Oh boy, I usually only get this excited when they say the title of a movie in the movie.
And I will not be the last Jedi.
He said it! He said it!
The Last Jedi, by writer and director Rian Johnson, is one of my favorite installments in the Star Wars franchise. No, it's not my favorite Star Wars film of all time. That position is always in flux. But anyway, after The Force Awakens, which relied heavy on our nostalgia feel-good member berries, droids, plans, desert, masked dark side guy,
I'll show you the dark side,
trench run, big murder ball in space, the essentials. The Last Jedi gave us an unmistakably Star Wars film, but under the cosmetics, we actually finally get some new food for thought and some pretty interesting character developments for some of our favorite heroes. Hot take. I really enjoyed Luke Skywalker in this film. He is cut off from the Force, drinking space juice, embittered by his own past, and rightly so to be frank, as the movie will go on to show us. You know, for me, it really was an honest portrayal of what happens as we grow up and face hardship. We can develop a pretty rough exterior sometimes and push people away. We cut ourselves off from the things in our past which cause us pain, yet no matter what we do, we will always be confronted, one way or another, with our past. While the message of the film is let the past die, its message within the message is to learn from our past failures, not run from them.
The greatest teacher failure is.
I also literally could not take my eyes off of Kylo Ren in this movie or his extremely high-waisted pants. The emotion on his face is palpable. Not only did he just murder his father, but rather than it giving him any sense of resolve in the dark side, it just further cracks him open. Every scene we see with Kylo Ren shows conflict. He is literally writhing with tension. It is also really interesting that after realizing he murdered his father for no good reason, he hesitates doing the same to his own mother. Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, has learned that not only will this not cement his place on the dark side, but just the opposite. The acts of killing his family members are destroying him. I also thought it was brilliant how in the first act, Kylo and Rey's first interaction sets up the climax of the film.
You're not doing this. The effort would kill you. Can you see my surroundings?
You're gonna pay for what you did.
I can't see yours.
Within the story's logic, it tells us that if you project your form across a great distance using the Force, the exertion will ultimately kill you. So, in my eyes, this is a tool only used in the most dire of circumstances. This is why Luke's death really does work for me, within the context of the story. Luke would sacrifice himself for his sister, for a cause, and for anything greater than himself. A lot of people are critical of how Luke died, and from a certain point of view, I can understand being underwhelmed by not seeing your favorite Jedi have a traditional lightsaber duel and be that John Wick-esque character that we were dreaming of. But I think what we got is better. Throughout the original films, Luke struggles with petulance, impatience, and his own inner darkness as demonstrated during the final confrontation with his father, Darth Vader. Fueled with fear that his sister could possibly be turned to the dark side, Luke goes in for the attack on his own father, who not even moments ago he was trying to save. Also, right before their duel, Luke takes the first strike at Emperor Palpatine. In The Last Jedi, we are presented with another conflict with a family member, Ben Solo, who Luke realized has become compromised by the dark side, and as he says in the film, in a moment of pure instinct, he thought that he could stop what his nephew would become. And we've seen what his nephew has become. This is a theme within Star Wars. Trying to foresee the future is always misleading and can lead to some extremely terrible outcomes. I think this tragedy is so honest to the heart of what these movies are, which is essentially galactic family drama. It really surprises me when people say, Luke would never murder his nephew, because I agree. And so does the film. Luke could not do it. He cannot follow the dogmatic Jedi way anymore. When your entire belief system eventually lets you down in such a way that it destroys the fabric of your family, it's probably safe to say that one would let that shit fester and go crawl into a cave for a while. I'd like to also say that it was extremely surprising to me that Rey ended up being nobody. I really thought that we were going to get some familial tie-in, but I'm glad that she's nobody. The original Star Wars had Luke no-name farm boy from nowhere. Now we have that back again. Like we have heard in countless other reviews, Greatness now can come from anywhere. We don't need a special number of goblins in our blood to figure out how many force push-ups we can do anymore. And there is so much more to say about this film. So, I'm going to follow this up with part 2 of my Last Jedi review and overall thoughts on the film. If you found any of what I've been saying interesting, please comment below. I'd love to talk about it. And if you can, like and subscribe to this channel, it would really let me know that people are interested in more content. I just want to say thank you, and ATAT chat out.